Good morning, friends, and welcome to the initiative of Excelon IP for celebrating the World Intellectual Property Day with the theme of IP and Youth Innovating for the Better Future. So, during this celebration, we are interacting with many startups and the young entrepreneurs who have worked or working on some innovative kind of products or the idea or concept, which is going to make very big impact into the future of the people at the society at large, right? So today we have our guest, Mr. Kush Prajapati from a Redicine Medsol. He is a founder of Redicine Medsol and really working on a very innovative products, which is helping many people, or I can say the many patients and the caretakers across the globe, right? Welcome, Kush, for this interactive session. And before wasting much time, now I would like you to introduce yourself and about your firm.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for having me here. So I'm Kush from Redicine. We at Redicine Medsol currently developing a solutions to create a smart IoT-based pill storage and scheduling devices for chronic patients to make sure that the adherence increases up to 87 to 92% from existing 40 to 50% only. We are on a mission to solve WHO's third global patient safety challenge, which is called medication non-adherence. And it is costing almost $42 billion annually in US alone and resulted in almost 30 to 50% of chronic disease treatment failures.
Yeah, so the Kush and his team under the Redicine Medsol, they have developed some device integrated with the IoT kind of technology that helping the patients, the caretakers, the nurses and doctors to get reminder of the medicines they are taking regularly, right? And also can track all the dosings, if they have taken the medication or not, if they have missed any dose, and which is ultimately solving the problem of the patient compliance, right? So it was really nice to know about the things. So Kush, let me know how you got to this idea particularly to develop this kind of product.
Right. So I faced the similar situations in our close relatives. So she was diagnosed with the cancer, and even though having a caretaker, it was very tough to manage her medications. Apart from that, for the chronic patients, there are multiple medications on the same regular interval of time. So we face this issue of not only the reminder, but to have a proper medicine organizer so that patients can simply identify that, okay, which medications they have to consume. So that time I tried to find the solutions here in the market, but I couldn't find. All the solutions weren't the simple Monday, Tuesday wala the pill storage solution, and the remaining side, whichever available, weren't that convenient. And also, apart from that, we wanted the data that, okay, ultimately the patients have consumed medication or not. So that's where we got an idea. And after that, I talked with almost 50 plus doctors and talked with almost 100 plus patients to understand this problem in details. And from that, where I found out that almost the adherence rate of the chronic patients was just 40%. And also the majority reason was attendance forgetfulness. And the second one is that not having a proper organizing structure in which patients can simply organize their medication. So that's where I decided to start this venture.
Okay. So the way you have conceptualized this idea and plan to work on this idea, how was the journey till date from that concept to till date at whatever the stage you are?
Right. So yeah, currently we're in the final stage of development. We're launching our product next month, and it has been quite a journey, to be honest, ranging from idea, then creating multiple prototypes, and also to making sure that whatever device that we develop ultimately is very easy to use, very convenient for any user group, and also we want to make sure that ultimately our aim is to increase medication adherence. So we are very focused on that as well.
Yeah. Okay, Kush. So now during this whole journey, how intellectual property has played a role, if any, and if you can share your experience with respect to if you have processed or filed any kind of intellectual property.
Yes. So currently we have filed for total 2 patents. 1 patent is already published. We have 2 trademark on Redicine Medsol and also on PaidMinder. We also have a design register as well. IP has been a very integral part of our journey so far, because when we started, we we applied for the provisional patent, which is a very critical aspect. Because the reason is that sometimes you only think about developing solutions which is already existing in the market. So when we start thinking about or applying for the patent, the literature reviews that you go through during that time the period of just like understanding, okay, what was earlier solutions available, what is the key innovation factors that you have. That is something we learned in a very great way after applying for the patent as well. Because in that way, we want to actually, in patent, we have to show that, okay, what is the key innovative aspect. So when you're brainstorming about the patent, what are the key claims you wanted to make, it was very helpful for us. Not only think about the existing right now, but also to think about the future aspect as well. So in patent, we make sure that we cover a lot of future product as well. And actually, that's where Excelon IP helped us a lot to identify what are the key areas that we should work on and what are the key things that we should add in the IP and specifically in patent as well.
Yeah. So really great to know that you have multiple way of protecting your product through multiple types of IP. And I really want to pass on or the highlight the thing that if you are working on any particular product, try to identify the maximum type of IP through which you can protect your product, right? So in this particular case, they have Redicine Medsol, they have trademarks, they have multiple trademarks, they have multiple patents, they have also design registration, right? So your single product is protected by patent, trademark, and design, right? So it will be very difficult for the competitor if they want to copy the products, right? They have to cross all these barriers of the IP. So it is really great that you have protected all your IPs, which is applicable for you. Now, before we close the session, I would like to ask you that what is the one message you want to give to the young entrepreneurs or the startups who are either just starting to start something or already in the process of doing something innovative?
So one of the key things that I will request everyone to start with is that first focus on the patent side as well, because when you start applying for the patent and mainly provisional patent, this helps you to clear a lot of doubts not only about your own product but also the vision of your company or the product that you want to make in future. And while developing a provisional patent or the final patent, you realize that how much advancement you can provide in a future version, how much innovative you can add in your existing product. This provides a very unique and very clear roadmap for you as well to go from one stage to another stage. So it's like that. Rather than just trying to build a lot of things, we really try to focus on simple thing and the innovative aspect as well. So that's why patent is very helpful. And apart from that, for starters who are starting up or who are currently already started, the IP can be a really great resource for you as for raising funds as well. Because a competitor is something that through IP we can actually just create one barrier for them to enter in the market. And so yeah, IP will every startup or anybody who wants to start an innovative project should first look into the IP and make sure that they have the IP registered on the name, which is very useful in future as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that is IP. Definitely, IP is a very critical in the journey. But apart from IP, what is the another one message that you think that startups should keep in mind?
Right. So one thing is that like what I've seen is that startup is not about just fundraising. There is a lot of things goes before you reach to that stage. And many times when I meet somebody who wants to start a startup, the main thing they think about is, okay, I want to raise funds. Like the first is foremost thing is that you should have an internal motive to develop a product, because you will face a lot of failures in just developing your one prototype as well. So it's like the motivation should drive you to start rather than just fundraising, which is a very glamorous word out there. So yeah, motivation is one of the key factors.
Yes, absolutely, very critical message. I would say that many of the people just by seeing the in the newspaper or the TV channel that this startup got this much funding and just they are just following them and have only one thing in mind that I want to raise the fund, right? But because of that, they are losing the main purpose for which they have started, and that's the reason the most of the startup gets failed at the end, right? So thank you very much for the Kush for such a wonderful interaction and explaining about your products, your motives, your purpose to serve the society in a better way, and your message to the entrepreneurs. Thank you, Kush, once again. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media pages to know more about startups and their innovative ideas.